Dude, are we getting no taxes on our Bitcoin?
Bro,
are we absolutely going to gigasend it?
All Trump has to do is tweet no taxes on cryptocurrencies. Bro, Bitcoin would be at $1 million in like maybe a day. It would literally, first of all, Twitter would literally break, like it would burn to the ground. I don't know what the hell would happen with Twitter, but it would literally be like, can you imagine the euphoria? It's impossible to even imagine. That would be amazing. But yeah, I saw that across the timeline.
What do you think's the likelihood?
0. Yeah, there's no way.
You think 0? Wow. Okay.
There's no way they can move that. That's it's still the narrative of, it's the one thing the left still has kind of in their quiver, if you will, is this like rich versus poor narrative, which is total BS. And the rich use it to actually hide taxes. Like it's so ridiculous. But anytime, I mean, and maybe maybe we've reached that point in our society where we can really have that discussion. But anytime the kind of fair tax or simplified or anything like that, the left is always able to use the, you pay their fair share, the rich people, and use that bullshit narrative to kind of keep it. But who knows, man? Maybe this is the time that we move back. I mean, everything else has fallen. Why not that old, meme that's totally ridiculous? Why not that one? So who knows, man? I might be wrong.
I just looked on Polymarket and there's no line, so therefore it's not happening because degens aren't betting on it.
I mean, I saw that it was like, oh, the coin's got to be made in the USA or whatever. It's just like, hey, well, I mean, is Bitcoin made in the USA or how does that work? I mean, certainly Doge was, Bells was, Litecoin was. Okay, well, that's super bullish there. But who knows? Maybe it's one of those things. Maybe just got tossed out there to see reaction. But it's certainly
that'd be funny if they started putting like trackers on the sats and they're like, this is tax exempt Satoshis.
US mine taxes or Satoshis. Who was the Mr. Wonderful was pushing into that narrative maybe 3 years ago that these are like fair non-blood diamond Bitcoins, right? He was trying to like sell miners basically. They were like fair miners and not in some third world country. And yeah, I don't buy that stuff, man, at all.
Damn, the amount of idiotic purchases that would undergo over the next 4 years if that were to happen. These meme coin traders would just be buying the most absolutely ludicrous things of all time, like putting slides and elevators in their houses and foam pits and all kinds of weird stuff.
It would be
here for it, honestly.
Anytime you release people's funds from the tax dollar, I mean, it's just people get really creative. They start to spend them. I mean, there'd be nothing more bullish, and that's one of the reasons I'm so excited about the what was Vivek tweeted out yesterday? Let's Doge this, right? It's like, oh my God, dude, this is so incredible, man. I almost can't believe the time we're living in, man. It's literally like a libertarian's dream come true.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Doge is on the loose. And looking at the Doginals markets, actually, they caught a little bit of some tailwind from Doge being pushed upwards. I actually went on to the Leica space yesterday. It was the first one I ever seen. And first thing I said was, dude, am I getting my tokens? What's
What they say? What they say?
Yeah, they actually, I have to give them credit. So for those who participate in the very first round, it's a 6-month vesting period, 1-month cliff. So it's basically split up across 6 months, and you go and claim. And I actually claimed them on the L2. So I do give them props. I'm actually quite surprised, and I'm going to go over to their website here in a second. There's some interesting applications people are building on Dogecoin. I was kind of surprised, but looking at the market itself, mini Doges did like $150,000 in trading volume in the last 24 hours or so. Doggy Market actually put these nice little charts there. This is new. So if you look at it, right, this was space. I think honestly my tweet might have sent it, to be honest. I posted about mini Doges, and then there was like 200 purchases right afterwards. But it looks like the bottom might have been put in. If you look up here on the chart, at least getting close. The mini Doges are on the route, or on the move, and then of course Doginal Duppets, which is just the Dogecoin puppets.
Is that an old one, or is that a new collection?
Let's see. Yeah, launched in April of this year. So it's just the puppets are just taking over. The puppets are the Bored Apes of this year, right? And I don't think you're going to be fading them. And then you come down and look at DRC20. Doji's at 40 million. It's been at 10,000 holders for literally like a year at this point. But this new interface is pretty nice. I'm not going to lie. Doggy Market did a good job. And they released their new marketplace almost the day after Doge Labs released their marketplace. Why does this always continue to happen? Is once one person does it, it's like everyone's waiting around, and then once one person does it, the other, like we said yesterday on the show, Coinbase announced that they're listing Pepe's, and literally 5 minutes later, Robinhood tweeted that they were listing Pepe. Literally 5 minutes later. Why does that always happen?
I mean, we have joked about the Doginal space that it's basically it could be the same team.
Yeah.
So that's possible too, but I doubt it. But still, it is crazy, man.
It's interesting. Chris, do you own any mini Doges? Do you own any Doginals?
I don't own any mini Doges. I own a couple of Doginals, but nothing like crazy big bags or anything like that. But it's definitely getting Cabal vibes for sure. Saw it on some timelines, and kind of like a pretty under the radar place to be looking for some alpha is NFTs on Doge, but it seems that that's a pretty under the radar place that's kind of picking up steam. So something to keep an eye on. How was your Leica airdrop? What was your experience?
Yeah, how much did you put in, or what was the kind of rough numbers?
I think I put in like, I think it was like 8,000 Doge or 9,000 Doge at the time. It was like two grand or something like that, $3,000. Mm-hmm. And I claimed 4,500 Leica yesterday. So you times that by 6. So you get, I guess it's like 5 times the amount of Doge or something. I actually have no idea what the supply is. So I still need to look and see. I was just quite surprised. I honestly counted that as dead. I'm not going to lie. I was like, I didn't think that they were going to come back. But the team, it sounds like they're like either French or Italian. The French devs are always around, dude. Tough, right? But apparently the Leica team actually invited them onto the Emblem show. So hopefully they're going to come on later in the month, and we can have a conversation with them. They're original Doginals community members, or at least they claim. They minted some early Doges, and they said that they just saw the opportunity. They had been building EVM for a few years, and they saw that, this was a big opportunity with Doge. And, the website looks pretty good as we sit here and kind of scroll through it. Some of the applications that are coming to the chain itself, which I actually told them as well, is like Emblem should probably deploy on this so that they could bring all their Doginals to Leica. And they were like, yes, absolutely do that, please. So an opportunity for us.
I heard did they really raise like 2 million from their latest sale?
That's what they claim. It is what they claim. Who knows how much of it was real volume or if there was general interest. The one thing I do have to say about the Doginals community is there is a ton of engagement. Anytime you tweet anything Doginals, it's like an actual meme community. But the issue is like with like meme communities is, you know, how many of those accounts are actually real? It's always the big question, because a lot of them are generally fake. But you know, congrats to them if they raise 2 million. You look at some of the dApps here. They have Woofy Swap, which was it's a DEX. They have WIWW, which is an NFT marketplace. They have something called Much, which is a Doge liquid staking platform. So something similar to like Eigenlayer on Ethereum and like, or no, that would be liquid staking. That'd be like Lido, I guess, on Ethereum. And then Babylon on Bitcoin is a really popular. Babylon raised like $80 million earlier this year. And I don't know if you remember, there was a point on the Bitcoin mainnet, maybe like 2 or 3 months ago, gas fee shot to like 5,000 for like a few hours. And that was people trying to stake their Bitcoin into Babylon. So, you know, that's probably a good opportunity because there's a lot of just stagnant Dogecoin sitting out there. So if you could stake it and get a yield on it, you know, maybe that's big. Obviously, you need a competent team to do that because you're dealing with large amounts of liquidity. And then the other one it says over here is DipDog, a meme trading platform. Let me see if I can go to the website for that. Adam, as you look at this, do you feel any more bullish?
I'm just, I honestly, I don't get the L2 on top of Dogecoin. Like, I don't get it, man. I mean, I get it from okay, it's easier to use and stuff, but you know, when the assets are so inexpensive to move them, you know, to another layer, it may make sense in a decade. I just don't see how it really makes sense right now on Doge, right?
I think they're looking for programmability is I think like the main use case instead of like cheaper fees.
No, I get that a little bit, like, but okay. I mean, how is the bad trading experience the thing that's causing, you know, DRC20s to not trade or Doginals to not trade? Is it the bad trading experience, or there just aren't that many people who are interested in it, right? And so, you know, I mean, yeah, I just, you know, I'm kind of bearish on Bitcoin L2s, you know, to think an L2 on Dogecoin. I just like, you know, I don't see it yet, but you know.
Come on, you don't want to pump Lola out of here?
I just, you know, who's there, bro? There's like 20 guys on Doginals, right? It's like, so how many are in Leica? Like 2? Like what percentage of those 20 are they getting to move over to an L2? I just think it's a really tough road to hoe, man.
The dog of the day, if you go to dipdog.dog, that's the website that I'm on right now. There's a token matcher. It says, it's kind of like a Tinder swipe. It says yes, please, and fuck no.
Hey, that's funny at least, you know.
Let's see. What happens if you click no? Oh, it gives you another one. That's kind of Oh, so this is like wait, is that how it's supposed to be? This is like
so it's like they're each tokens.
Yeah, it's like a pump fund kind of thing, like a different pump fund.
Hey, that's fun, man. I like
that's
that.
Kind of fun.
I really like that. Yeah, shoot, I'm bullish now. Look at the market cap, $80, $200.
Yeah.
This is awesome, guys. You got to see this on the live stream, man. It's like literally like
dude, the market cap of this one token is $50.
Bro,
hell
dude,
yeah.
I really like that design. I mean, dude, you know,
that's a good design.
If this was on Solana, shit, man, this would get some serious traction, you know, but there's just nobody there, right? It's just.
Chris, do you think there's any legitimacy or any possible amount of traction that could come to something like this?
I mean, they have a product, and I think Doge is going to get really big. I think it's going to cross the chasm. So I think anyone building now is going to see an influx of users by default. And if you have a good product, something like this, I think you're going to get some sort of traction.
Oh yeah, Lake, keep following through. I'm glad I got in early on that one.
No, I mean, look, this is the kind of stupid, like, look, the thing that clicks or hits, it could be on any chain. We know that now, dude. It doesn't matter, right? And if they create the Tinder of meme coins, bro, who knows, man? It, bro. You know, who knows? It's cool.
Finding some love.
I do like that. That's the one thing. Like all these protocol L2s, whatever, none of them have anything cool. Like that's the first cool thing I've seen in 2 months. You know what I mean? So good for them, man. It's good stuff.
Good for them. So, going down the Doge pipeline, I got to know what's going on with this Bells thing. Apparently, if you guys, the Bells coin community collectively gathered almost $200,000. A portion of that went to Mexi for listing. A portion of that went to Gate. And then Gate listed the wrong token? Is that what happened?
Bro, you can't make this stuff up. I mean, like, do I know what happened exactly behind the scenes there about how these devs screwed things up? No, right? All I do know is there's this older token called Bella. It's like a Bella protocol. I don't even know what it is. Nobody knows what the heck it is. But their ticker is Bell, B-E-L. Now, obviously, Bell's coin ticker originally was Bell, but because of that conflicting ticker symbol, we eventually had to move to Bells. Right, because there was just too many conflicts, and why fight with the exchanges that already have it integrated? Like, we could have got them to maybe take down Bell, but it was like, just easier to go to Bells, and actually Bells is a better ticker, right? And so how they messed it up, I honestly have no clue, like zero clue. If you refresh the page, it actually for like a half a second, it shows the real Bells price, but then it, something in their system takes the price to the Bella protocol. It's all messed up, bro. What am I, what do you do? I mean, when you deal with these companies, which are like monoliths, you just recognize that you're dealing with people who are just, it's bureaucracy on bureaucracy, and errors are made all over the place. And to get anything right, bro, it's like pulling teeth, man.
Dude, it made the memes write themselves in this space. Just absolutely incredible. So what happened after they listed the wrong thing or showed? Did you guys reach out to them? Did they respond? Did they say they're sorry?
I mean, I can't really talk on it, obviously, but yeah, of course. DMs,
I want a refund.
DMs were flying, but I mean, the greatest meme was like, whatever. You pay $100,000 to list on Gate, you get the cheap intern, right? You really got to pay $500,000. So if there's a mistake, you got to pay another $100,000, right? It's like, dude, it's literally nuts. I mean, what do you even say to it? It's still wrong now. What is this, like 20 hours later? It's still it's crazy, dude. It's literally crazy. It's only
just absolutely incredible.
It's incredible.
This space, dude, literally writes the jokes itself every day.
How could you be like, if we were that bad, right? You couldn't survive, right? But these guys, have so much traction and make so much money that they can just, this is, what you get. And it's, everybody still gets in line because, you need to have whatever, the volume or whatever. I think Luke put out that tweet earlier today where somebody asked about Robinhood. And I guess, Luke had spoken with somebody from Robinhood, and Robinhood's like, look, we don't list anybody who's got less than $40 million a day in volume, right? And I mean, I've talked to market makers who are like, that's totally true. Like, they actually want like 50 million in volume. And the conversation goes to, well, we can create this fake volume for you for X amount of dollars per month. And I'm like, what are we doing here? Why is this the standard? Why is this? It's like paying for a fake Instagram influencer who has 1 million followers and they're all bought. Like, what are we doing here? As an industry, we should be against this. This is stupid, but it's impossible. How do you compete, right? How do you compete if you're like Bells that has legitimate, whatever, $1.5 to $2 million a day in volume of actual real volume with no fake to it? How do you compete against some meme coin that's faking $60 million in volume? I don't know, man. It's hard, but I don't know. That's where we are right now. It's a shit show.
I do think Gate, though, will be quite beneficial for Bells. I mean, you look at the volume. I think it's like a top 10 in volume. It's done $9 billion this year.
I mean, but
today.
That's all fake. They've done like $9 billion. Right? I mean, you just realize that $9 billion is probably 85% fake. Or 80% fake. It's just fake. It's bots just trading back and forth with each other. In the same way, people did this in the NFT hype cycle, right? It's like, it's fake volume. So, yeah, it bummed me out a bit. finding out this kind of stuff over the last couple months.
Yeah, wait till you hear about the stock market and Forex.
Wait till you hear about BlackRock, bro.
Yeah, wait until you hear about the big dogs. But when you look at the Gate trading volume, obviously Bitcoin and Ether number one, and then you have Pepe, Doge, Peanut, Solana, Dog with Hat, Act, Constitution DAO, Simon Cat. It's like literally all meme coins. It's like all the volume is meme coins on this exchange.
What's that Constitution DAO? Is that the DAO from way back when?
Yeah, it's just a meme coin now.
Bro, I still have those tokens. Holy shit. I didn't get the refund. Dude,
there you go.
God, where's that?
Let's see. What's the market cap of this thing? It's at $350 million.
Bro!
Adam just sitting on some bags.
Holy cow, bro. I'm buying more bells today, bro. I got to find that wallet. Because that was like the one thing I put into. I mean, I might have spent like $1,000, $2,000.
You might be sitting on a house right now.
Bro, let's go, man. It's a birthday for me.
Is it your birthday?
No. But it feels like it, bro.
I mean, you could be just sitting on a Lambo right now.
Dude, that's crazy. Holy
350 million, yeah, in market cap. So congrats, man. I'm glad we had this space.
Funny, man. That is so funny, dude.
There you go. But
I have no idea where that wallet is, man. Good God. That's like probably lost to the ether, man.
It's in one of the notebooks that's sitting in your library.
I gotta
somewhere.
go dig up a seed phrase at my brother's house or something. God help me. Who is that? Yeah, that's funny. Awesome, man.
Yeah, but this has got literally just all meme coin trading volume. I mean, I think Dog is somewhere up in here as well. It's pretty far down the board now. It slid. Where is it? I know.
So Dog, they bought a bunch of Dog and listed then in that case, because obviously Dog has no funds to support liquidity. So Gate in that case actually had to go buy Dog on the market and then set up its own like liquidity and stuff. That's interesting.
Yeah, where is this thing? This thing is like buried. Did I pass it? I know that was doing. Let me see, because I know this is where like 90% of the Dog, the rune token, Dog. Go. They're not even showing it on here now. Dog Go. Damn, they just like keep demoting it. Like screw this coin. It like isn't even showing up. Oh, so 10 million. There was at one point where it was doing like 80 million.
Wow.
But yeah, I think it'll be good for bells. It'll definitely do more volume than these other exchanges. So, congrats to the community. Hopefully some liftoff there. Is there any other new developments in the Bells coin space? I did think the next ticker is like Runes is supposed to launch on Bells coin, right?
Yep. Runes is coming up. They've already set a block height for it. Opcat is obviously there. That has the block height set for it as well. So, new stuff. I mean, obviously it's all about listings right now. Actually, I think the most bullish thing is Doge, right? Just Doge having this, just feels like this it's hard to imagine that it's impossible. Nobody on earth could have imagined that this would be like a thing where presidents are tweeting about Doge. Like it's impossible. And so obviously for Bells coin, that's the main thing. Just how do we tie our horse to Doge, right? It's just, that's going to be fun to see how that goes over the next 6 months for sure.
Yeah. I don't see a world where, Bells coin is not maybe a top 5 proof of work chain. Like to me, it seems kind of inevitable. I was looking at proof of work chains the other day of the list, and it's literally like all dead coins, like literally like 90% of them. If you look at it here, I'll pull it up on the live stream. If you look, you have, Bitcoin, Dogecoin are the top 2. You have Bitcoin Cash, which is around, and Litecoin. Caspa, I had never even heard that until it was being compared against Bells coin because of some sort of like a bunch of the mining hash is going directly its way.
Basically the trajectory, and I don't know what people are like, oh, it's this amazing blockchain, blah, blah, blah. But it followed a very similar path to adoption with Bells coin, with the miners and stuff. And so people are comparing it price-wise to what it did, which is like had an exponential rise, and they're hopeful Bells does the same.
Well, you got a 30x from where it's at today, or 35x from where Bells sits today.
Yeah.
I mean, look, even on CoinGecko, you could buy the top 6 with the Ethereum Classic, and then it's just like you can't buy any of these. Like you have Zcash and Dash you can buy, and the other ones are like you got to go figure it out on your own.
Yeah. Yep.
And Bell's coin is like, where is Bell's? 86 million, so it's fallen off a little bit. I feel pretty bullish on it. It seems pretty exciting. I mean, it's the only other one that has a development ecosystem on top of it outside of Doge and Bitcoin. I guess Litecoin does a little bit, but Litecoin's
Very
now
little, bro. Where are my Litecoin bags, man? Where's my? Although I did see, what was it? Chicken Market was putting out some, Litecoin punks sold and stuff like that. So even they're catching a bid over there. And
yeah, I saw the Litecoin Twitter tweeting. I saw they identify as a meme coin now.
Bro, that was, I gotta say, and I gave him props. I was like, dude, who's the new intern, bro? Because this is
yeah, this one right here got 3 million views. Due to market conditions, I now identify as a meme coin.
That's awesome. A+.
A+, man. 100%. Really leaned into it. And yeah, I thought it was great, man. They even got the Dogecoin main account retweeted it and stuff.
Yeah.
There it is.
Do you think it's actually possible that it can, save itself? Like the rebranding is obviously a meme. I don't think that'll be successful, but do you think there's some legitimacy here now? Do you think a new intern running the account can generate some excitement around it again?
I think yes, definitely yes. But Litecoin, which is the same when we were in Nashville at the Litecoin conference and stuff. I had the discussion with a bunch of Litecoiners. I'm like, the worst thing about Litecoin is the narrative around Litecoin isn't like compelling enough. We were talking mainly in relation to like the ETF, getting a Litecoin ETF. Like, how do you create excitement? Like, okay, Ethereum, it's the world computer or whatever you want to call it, right? It's something. Bitcoin's it's gold, it's digital gold, right? What's the Litecoin narrative? It's never really been strong. It's always kind of been, okay, silver to gold, blah, and it's just, to fix that is really, it's darn near impossible because every one of us already have an idea of what Litecoin is in our brain. So to move that narrative it's the hardest thing to do in branding and marketing. So I don't, to be honest, I don't give them much chance. I actually think Litecoin should just really, 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 really lean into like just payments, just become like the anonymous payment layer. And that is like boots on the ground. How do we get, the corner store to accept Litecoin? But I don't think there's like the drive to do that. I just don't think it's not new enough. There's not enough hunger there. Too many rich people involved, to be frank, in Litecoin, where that kind of grittiness doesn't feel like it's possible, in my view.
It looks like that intern must have started like literally yesterday.
Yeah.
You look at the first post was, post your best Litecoin meme and win a chance at a follow back, and then it was just memes afterwards. But everything before that is just like articles being posted. Right? Very bland.
Yep.
But I guess there is some interest in Litecoin ordinals, which is probably, I'm gonna go to this website right here. I saw they posted about a 30 Litecoin sale, and oh wow, 33 buys in the last 24 hours, dude. We're pumping here.
That's so funny, right? It's like that's really hot, man. That's hot off the presses, bro.
I wonder if
yours, bro. There's yours.
I wonder if my collection's done some sales. No sales in 4 months.
I just don't know. I mean, where have they been for the last decade? You know what I mean? They have the foundation. What have they been building? I'm not entirely sure. And I mean, we all have like a set like mental limit of how many things that we can do, kind of capacity, even like a wallet capacity, how many things we can engage with. I don't know how many people are putting Litecoin on that list of chains that they're keeping an eye on. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So the punk sale yesterday was the first Litecoin punk sale in 7 months.
Wow.
No way. How much is a Litecoin? What are those going for?
I think that I saw it pumping today is like up to $80. So somebody paid $20 like $2,000 for this. So I guess there's some historical provenance to it. Light is just like absolutely dead. It's literally at
market cap $1.
It's at 600,000. 600,000.
Wow,
yeah.
Bro.
That's even lower than when I bought it. I bought it like $1 million.
It's way low. I don't know what I bought it at, but it was more than that, bro. More than that. Yeah, down horrendous.
Maybe one day it'll come back.
What did you guys think about Bitcoin Cash or Bitcoin SV? I saw they were getting a lot of traction this past week.
Really?
Have they?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what? Was there like any news around it?
I think what's his name? Kim.com. I don't know. He's always been working with Bitcoin Cash, I believe, and I think that he's supposed to have some new updates or something like that. Check that out.
Oh
Good.
boy. Kim.com, man. Isn't he supposed to be extradited back to the US pretty soon?
Yeah. No, there's always drama with him. But he likes Trump. But or just pull up like a Bitcoin Cash chart. I think it was going pretty crazy actually.
Really? I mean, I could see it getting the ETF as possible, right? You still have, let's see. So let's go back to CoinGecko.
Like proof of work chains. I think that was kind of on the move.
Yeah, so it's up about, so in the last few days, or I guess this month, it's up about 50% or so.
But I mean, that's moving more. That's like a beta to Bitcoin more so than like Litecoin or some of these other proof of work chains are. So that was an interesting move that kind of caught me off guard personally, but I don't follow that community.
So let's see. So you see Bitcoin dude, over the last 7 days, Bitcoin up 17%, Dogecoin up 105%, Bitcoin Cash 12, Litecoin 12, Bitcoin SV 24%. And then you still got Ethereum Classic just hanging around doing nothing. Bitcoin Gold's up 36%, and you got Bell's Coins up 30%, and something called Ergo 64%.
I'm not sure about your guys' vantage point, but I see the Bitcoin versus BTC argument going all over the timeline all over again. Like it's 2017 or something like that.
Really?
Really? Yeah, I don't get that at all.
I haven't seen any of that.
It's funny.
Yeah.
It's not in my timeline at all.
Yeah, I see it all over the place. They say Bitcoin has been captured.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's happening.
Bitcoin's not true money anymore. It's now a decentralized ledger.
It's just funny to see these narratives replay themselves over and over again.
Dude, Adam, your best friend Lucky Coin is up 300% this week.
And there you go, bro. Love Lucky, big Lucky fan. Hey, man, they created controversy on the timeline. Congrats to them on generating some interest, man.
Yeah. So this restarted like a month? Yeah, it looks like a month ago.
Yep.
If that.
Yep.
Interesting. 50. Yeah. So it's circulating supplies 13 mil, total supplies 20. Interesting. Yeah, I've seen the controversy, but hey, you gotta do what you gotta do to survive in these markets, right?
It's brutal out there, and we've seen it. I mean, even with like Litecoin and Dogecoin, when we were going through the whole, ordinals rebirth, you just see that if you don't have a core group of people who are passionate about it, developers and and just people who want to be involved. And look, they're probably it's literally on Doge, it's probably 10 people who are building Doginals and all that stuff out, maybe 20, maybe 20. But they're actually following through. And on Litecoin, there were like 2, right? It was like Luke and maybe like 2 other, maybe 3 people, right? There were like not enough bodies in Litecoin, which is sad. I mean, that's what you get, and with all the foundations in the world, if that foundation isn't looking to support kind of development like that, you get what you get. Like they should have leaned in. Like they should have been like, here's $1 million prize, to do something on Litecoin and brought the developers in. But foundations and that sort of thing just don't work like that. It's just too slow even Doge was nothing but pushback from the OG Doge holders, right? But now, it has this ecosystem that's there and can thrive, so lesson learned, I think, for these chains, you've got to be forward leaning, and for Litecoin, it's probably a little bit too late. But you know what's
not too late? Facet is back apparently after, God, it has to be almost a year of building this. Maybe it's like 8 months or so. Facet is I guess they call it an L1 plus to Inscriptions. Although I've learned that Facet is not compatible with Inscriptions, which is interesting. Adam and I were on a call with them like a few weeks ago talking about, their plans. They announced yesterday that they've completed their audit for Facet, and I believe they're getting ready to launch it later this month or maybe in December.
Yep.
Some interesting features they're launching. I think it's called the Facet token, FCT, where every time you issue a transaction, you get Facet, the token, back. So instead of burning it, you just get it as like a reward mechanism for, I don't know if it's in perpetuity or for like an extended period of time.
Yeah, it's in perpetuity. It's decreasing, rewards over time.
Yeah, they have like it's the halving is like once a
half.
year, right? There's like a halving for once a year, yeah, or something like that.
Yeah.
Do you think that, the new protocol, apparently what they did is they forked, I think it was like the Optimism tech stack, and then they said that they basically, emptied it out. They made a shell of it and made it decentralized because none of the L2s are decentralized, and are going on this journey of an L1 plus. And really trying to compete against all these L2s. Do you think they have a chance?
Well, they do, because I came up with that branding, right? I think L1 plus. I'm still waiting for that check. But yeah, I mean, the toughest thing, like, do I think the tech stack might work and it might be better? And I go, yeah. But at the end of the day, none of that fucking matters, right? It's like, can they get enough eyeballs here? And, we've talked to them a bunch. Like, this is the huge challenge. They are up against a significant challenge because the reality is they basically lost that Inscription, community, right? When they moved to this new stack of tech, which required them to basically drop Inscriptions as kind of like the underlying foundational layer and move to this other, way of doing things, and basically lost their community, which they'd built up. And so to start from scratch and try to build a new community, I mean, dude, it's a really, really, really big challenge. These guys have a significant challenge. I mean, dude, just look, whatever, Optimism or Ajax or any of these, like, how much traction do they get? And they have like hundreds or tens of millions of dollars to literally pay people to come and build. Yeah, these guys have we like them a lot. Obviously, we support them, but these guys have a huge, difficult challenge.
Yeah, a few of the Inscriptions communities have came to Emblem asking us to take their communities to base. Seems to be where a lot of these want to go. We're also going to try to deploy on Facet, so some of the Inscriptions communities can be reunited with Facet. So that's where we come in, the plumbing in these type of situations. It says Facet is Ethereum's first based sovereign rollup. So a lot of buzzwords there. Transactions sequenced by L1 validators. No privileged keys, and state-derived deterministically from L1 transaction history. Yeah, a lot. And
what the who the what? Why do I want to use this, bro? I don't know, man. It's so funny, dude. Yeah, it's yeah.
You get sovereign state management and base sequencing, man. Can't wait.
Yeah, it's just, look, for devs, they've got to attract devs who want to do work here, right? And maybe that speaks to them.
Yeah, I'm gonna play around with it once they launch it. I'm gonna try to get some Facet. You never know. It could be a good play on the token. That's what you got to do, is get those early participants rich somehow, or you need to generate that like community wealth effect, right? We saw that happen with meme coins on Solana. We saw it happen with the Ordinals community, which then rotates to Runes, right? And then some of the other kind of Bitcoin plays with Solana. It seems like it just continually rotates into more meme coins.
Yeah. Totally, dude.
Just doesn't go anywhere else, which is fine. I guess this is how you get Peanut to pump to $2 billion in like 2 days. Is just keep compounding it for a while.
It's literally it's funny, but it is the only thing that really matters at the end of the day. Like, the numbers have to go up. It stops working if the number doesn't go up, and yeah, how do you make that happen, bro? It's like, I don't know, it's stuff, right, to make it happen. It's gonna be, I think Facet, obviously these guys are smart, really cool idea. We'll see how much traction they're able to get, developers, builders. Why would I want to go there? There are lots of reasons to go there, but if they can attract people to go there, that's another thing.
You know what number is going up though? XCP, the token itself, has actually been pumping somewhat. I think it's up like 100 or 200% since Counterparty 2.0 came out. Although
Party wars, man. Have you been in those telegrams reading the battles?
I haven't read recently, but I have here pulled up firemints.xyz, which is by the SRC pad guys, which is the people who created the stamps indexer and the SRC20 indexer. They rolled out firemints.xyz, which is the Counterparty 2.0 marketplace. They're first to market. We do know there's a few other ones, which I'll cover here in a second. But this one seems to have to be the most traction. It seems like minting is, look, even has a little fair mint detected that popped up there. That was kind of cool. It seems like this has become like the minting platform. I know they do have places to trade, right? You can have Spells of Genesis, Rare Pepe, Fake Rare, Saratobi, right? They got all the classic collections. Oh, look, they have Emblem Test on here too. That's cool. Nice. Let's see if they even have any Rare Pepes that have been attached. Oh, there's a few, right? So basically here, the thing is that you have to, if you have a counterparty token, you have to attach it to UTXO, which then you can list on these like Counterparty 2.0 marketplace because they're just like a PSBT. It's the same issue with Emblem, right? It's like that literally one step of attaching it to a UTXO or that one step of, or two steps of having to vault it. Most people just don't want to do it. It's the same issue. You got to figure out what's the incentive to get people to migrate it over. Yep. My speculation is still remains the same, that I think counterparty or like the historical assets will probably trade on Emblem, and then you'll probably get the newer assets to trade natively, just because of it's been 4 years of routine and practice, and 25,000 assets moved over there. So it'd be really, really tough overhaul to kind of get it to go the other direction. But I really hope this takes off and it's pretty exciting. My question for Counterparty 2.0 is, what's like the winning? Oh man, look at all those tokens. Oh man, somebody is minting orb market. That's kind of cool. Oh, it's kind of annoying that doesn't go away.
Actually, that's what it is. I remember I got an email this morning from Spells of Genesis, got Shaban and his marketplace and stuff. And I guess
it is.
That's the free mint happening right now.
Oh, so it looks like there's 2,000 available, and half of it's minted out. Good for him then. Yeah, hopefully he launches that pretty soon. The question is, right, so you have all these tokens being minted. It's like, are projects going to actually come and use Counterparty, or is it just going to be more of like, meme coin, shitcoin kind of trading? Still to be determined. I honestly think like there's like a DeFi play here somewhere, because a lot of these they're like semi-fungible tokens, right? It's images that are attached to, like 2,000 tokens here.
Yep.
And so I think you can treat them as just basically fungible tokens, just with images, and have a lot of fun there.
Yeah.
But to be determined. I don't know, Chris, what's your take on Counterparty 2.0 so far?
Yeah, it's cool to see them kind of building out. Love to see it. Just getting those eyeballs, like Adam said. I mean, it's hard to shake kind of a reputation, or kind of like what your first impression was. And when I think of Counterparty, I just think of historics, and it's difficult to change that in my mind. You know what I mean? So they can have a bunch of new incoming users, but there's just so many places to go. What's going to be the draw to get them over there?
Yep. OpenStamp has also now supported XCP 2.0. So this is where I saw XCP being listed. It looks like it's at a $57 million market cap, although there's been no volume on this. But this is the marketplace, doesn't really have any volume so far. And I also need to check out, so XCP marketplace, which is Shaban's thing, right? XCP market. That one, I don't know if you guys watched the little tutorial that he did of XCP marketplace. It looked pretty cool. Oh, this is the token. He's minting about it, or he's tweeting about it, or market. He needs to launch this soon, or else he could potentially be left in the dark here. But I hope for the best. There's some competition. You got 3 marketplaces now, and then I think Joe Looney said he was going to do he was going to offer support for Rare Pepe and Rare Pepe Wallet. And then I think Stamped Ninja also added support for stamps. It's an ecosystem there for play. I think some people are bullish.
on which fork or which chain, right?
Eh.
It's like, this is the thing. It's like when I get in there for 5 minutes to read, and I'm just like, oh my God, why are we doing this? It's like, now there's Counterparty Classic and Counterparty 2.0. It's like, no, dude. It just, yeah. I know people have tried to talk to J-Dog about it, but it's like, bro, this is really bad for the community. Like, well, this is the original. Well, then which is the real token? Which is the real one? You're really going to do this? And he seems to be digging in his heels about these dispensers. He really loves those dispensers.
Dude,
and
it's
crazy. Like, what? The dispensers, literally like the worst feature that we all agreed was really bad and full of scams and, people
horrendous, horrendous feature.
Horrendous from a user perspective. That's the hill you're going to die on. And apparently, yes, it's going to be a forked, protocol from now on. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Terrible.
I thought the best branding was somebody was like, let's call it whatever, J-Dog Classic, right? Rather than Counterparty Classic, because that's what it really needs. It needs to be like, that's J-Dog Classic and this is Counterparty, right? The whole idea of it being Counterparty 2.0. Like, actually, those Adam and those guys, they need to drop that immediately because that's you need to be Counterparty, right? But yeah, it's just not. It's so bad. It's so negative for the entire space.
And for those that aren't aware, so with Counterparty, Counterparty was the original founders of Counterparty abandoned the project within like a year after starting it, and then J-Dog and a handful of other community members were managing Counterparty for a long time, for like 6-7 years, and then the founding team came back and started doing all these upgrades, and then J-Dog, who's the maintainer, has forked it because of a feature called dispensers that was basically deprecated in the update. So unfortunate, but moving to, the future, I guess, of what's happening on Bitcoin. Excuse me. Yesterday, Jern finally dropped his book collection, Casey's collection or so. It looks like even right now there's 21 pending buys, sold out immediately. So congrats to him. I minted a few of these. Listen to the space. It seemed like there's a lot of tension, or maybe there's people kind of that just want to support him. Do books have any type of sustainability in the space, or do you think it's a lot of people who are just coming out to support, or is there actual real interest in what's going on here?
What do you think, Chris?
I mean, I don't know how much direct, natural, organic, 100% interest in books there is now at this exact moment. But I mean, I think a lot of people are happy to support him, and I think that people see the broader vision of what it can be going into the future. So, I mean, I don't think this is something that you expect massive gains from, but I think that it's something that can make a pretty big impact within the industry over the next, years to come.
Dude, I want to flip these books like Gary Vee did with his books.
Yeah,
just remember back in the day.
Good new
crush,
cycle.
That was ridiculous. I remember people had rooms full of his books, bro. Remember that? It was like if you bought, 10 books, you got an NFT. And so literally people had entire closets full of Gary Vee's book, man. So smart. That dude crushed.
Genius. Going back to the runes, the runes top trading. We thought yesterday it looked like Pups was about to flip dog. It's fallen back a little bit. It's now within 60 million. Yesterday, when we were on the show, was within like 20 million, holding its ground, still at number one. Cypher Genesis has jumped up. This is the AI meme rune that was created by Butoshi, who's like really big into the AI spaces. It jumped up drastically. I think it's up like maybe 6 or 7x in the last few days. Went from $1 on the 10th, so 4 days ago, to $17.
Wow.
So I guess this is Sats. Never mind. So 17x in Sats version from it was at like 1 million to now it's like 16 million. There's some real interest. I mean, we've been exploring it. been exploring the AI agent space over the last few days as we've been preparing to release, our AI Vault product from Emblem Vault. Do you think that AI memes can exist on Bitcoin, or do you think it's mostly just limited to, Solana and the smart contract platforms?
Well, I mean, it's like, well, what's the definition of an AI meme? I think we're all kind of playing this out now, right? Is it like, did the agent create the meme, right? Or like this one, I don't think so. I think it's like, okay, a guy has an agent. The agent is like tweeting. So he created basically like a tweet bot agent. And I don't know. There's all these different layers and levels to what people are kind of creating with these agents. Who knows, man? Do I believe that there's going to come a day where these agents have their own social media platforms across like all these platforms, and also are able to create meme coins and are also able to trade? Yeah, like this is all happening. It's just like we're figuring it out now what, which ones have or don't have value or whatever.
Imagine like a complete AI agent Twitter where it's like just for AI agents talking to each other. Like that's the future where it's going. There are like no humans allowed on this.
I think it's going to happen, man. I think it is happening. Yeah.
So you look at Cypher Genesis AI, that's the Twitter account. I think it's like molded after Satoshi. So it talks kind of like prophetically. I don't know if this is like the AI. I think it is just the AI that's retweeting people and reposting. Then he even has a website on here. Right. It says 14 years since Satoshi's passed, the enigmatic creator of Bitcoin disappeared from the digital realm. Cypher Genesis emerges as an AI rune embodying the digital consciousness of Satoshi Nakamoto. And you go over to Butoshi, and he put a few posts out over the last few days. Looks like he's going to be on Bunzy's show tomorrow, talking about how he's going to create more AI agents specifically for Bitcoin. I think he has 2 right now, and I'm trying to find that post that he said that he wanted to create. I think it was like 6 or 7 or something like that. So bullish on AI agents. I have to say the space is a lot larger than I thought it was. And I put a tweet out the other day, I think it was yesterday, trying to figure out like what the other trend is going to be. We talked about this yesterday, right? Like last cycle was DeFi and NFTs. This cycle, it's ordinals and meme coins, and then probably a third one. I think the AI agent might be the third one, just because I see it.
It's the sleeper, dude. I think
I now see it being replicated on other chains, which means that it probably has some legs.
Totally, it's the sleeper, man. This is the one. This is this, in my view, calling it early. I mean, we may be too early. Maybe it turns out to be something else, but this has that vibe of like people resonate with this. Obviously, the first couple meme coins that were even loosely attached to an AI agent went absolutely ballistic and crazy. And I think there's all sorts of stuff. There's AI agents where you're like trading the agent itself or funding the agent, or, I just think there's this incredible, merging of crypto and AI agents. It's going to happen over the next six months or something, that this may dominate the cycle. Like this has the potential to dominate the crypto cycle. Yeah.
Yeah, look, there's something called Tanuki Wisdom. I don't know if that's an AI agent, but that's up to $14 million market cap. And then you have something called Smith AI Agent, which is also has 1,000 trades today. Yep. So it looks like there is actually some general interest in AI agents on Bitcoin making their way. When you come down to the collections, Bitcoin puppets, man, is just really just dominated Bitcoin. It's like a puppet chain now. Like that is literally the full culture. But it's funny because Pepe, initially started on Bitcoin, then was kind of exported to Ethereum. And now you have Bitcoin puppets that are kind of proliferating, and it's kind of starting to go over to some of these other chains, like we saw with Doginal Duppets. And I think there was a puppet mint on Bill's Coin as well.
Yep.
That happened earlier this year.
Yep.
So that's going to be the next native IP to Bitcoin, seems to be puppets. They've just completely obliterated node monkeys. They're up now, I think like 4 or 5. So 0.17 and 0.12. So what's that, like $4,000 difference between the two, and double the volume today. And then you have Quantum Cats in third place, staying steady, and OMB's actually fallen off a little bit. I don't know what's going on over there. It's interesting with Bitcoin because of the expense to create a new collection. You just don't really see new ordinal collections being minted.
Yep.
And etched is just like you have these like 4 winners, and then everyone else is kind of just like hanging around.
Look at that 12-fold right there. How much did those go for? Those were like 3 Bitcoin or 2 Bitcoin. Jeez.
I think Leo bought 3 for 2 Bitcoin each or something like that. Or 2.5. I think that's like what the bottom was.
Ouch, man.
Yeah. Pain.
Max pain, bro.
Do you think they come back? I mean, there's 4 sales today of 12-fold. They're at 0.25 now.
No, those are never coming back. Those are but my sleeper would be the frogs. That would be my sleeper. Although you still see some on the timeline, just because they were early. I don't know. It just always feels like, if they really got really cheap, maybe at the next bear market, they got to couple hundred bucks. Those would be the ones I'd be sweeping if I was going to pick something up.
My bet would be Bitmap. I think Bitmap's going to come back with absolute vengeance because it can trade like a meme coin as well.
Interesting. Yeah.
It's at a $50 million market cap. I could see this getting up to over $1 billion by the peak of the bull market. There's a lot of builders actually on Bitmap as well. I've been seeing. But Chris, if you had to choose, an ordinal collection to make a comeback, outside of Bitcoin puppets and node monkeys, who do you think is best fit to recapture some attention?
I mean, I always liked OMBs. I like the culture that they have there. It has really kind of the Bitcoin ethos into it. Like you said, there's just not too much to really kind of follow around there. Puppets really took the show. Node monkeys, I mean, it's cool what they did. It's cool their place in history, but it feels like a little bit corporate. And then you have kind of like the supply distribution to worry about. So I think Puppets is like a clear winner for the top, and I'm not sure about a comeback, to be honest.
Yeah, there's some other ones, I guess. The OMB is cool. You have Trevor with Pizza Ninjas, who's been doing really well.
Yeah,
I think this hit like a 0.2 Bitcoin floor. Now it's down to 0.09. I wouldn't fade him, but outside of that, and you come down, it's a little bit of a graveyard here.
It gets slim very fast.
I really think it's just because it's more of Bitcoin's more of a luxury chain. It's the 10-minute block times. The sniping is really, put a dampen into it. A lot of people try to blame runes to say runes stole the show, but I don't really think that's it, honestly. I think it's just more of a rotation of just meme coins being the cycle. And so everyone just wants to trade whatever the meme coin is on their chain. I mean, like last cycle with NFTs, you had the NFT hotspot was on Ethereum, but you still had NFTs going off on Solana, right? But nobody was trading fungible tokens on Solana last cycle. I mean, there was experiments. There was some DeFi experiments, and it was Sam SBF who was just absolutely nuking everybody. Was trying to trade fungible tokens on Solana last cycle.
That was miserable. That was crazy.
Yeah. Were you over trying to trade fungibles over there?
Yeah, we traded everything, but I mean, literally, it would just get nuked. The FTX listing would pop, and then it would be straight down to Hades for no ever coming back. So that was a really rough time. I hated Sam for a long time.
Oh man, he got what he deserved though.
It's interesting that the season 0, just looking at that now and seeing the full, like it's actually probably it's right at, it looks like it's actually a little below mint, right? But there are, the sales, it's like almost a third of the entire collection is traded, has sold, right? It's interesting. I think there are 3,000 of them, right?
Yep.
And almost 1,200 have already traded. So you wonder, like, this is the type of thing where that could, you might get some movement on that, but who knows, man? I mean, it does have the, it's a challenge, right? It's not a PFP. So it's tough. We'll see how it goes, man. I wish him the best for sure.
Final note I'd like to mention, Bitcoin Wizards is up. I saw yesterday it hit almost $10, which the all-time high is $16. Today, I believe Mavenspot is doing the first Wizards Spaces. I believe it's like later today, or maybe it's in like an hour. So I don't know what to expect from there. He seems to be, quite random with decision making, or at least making it appear to be random. But it's not holding down Wizards now. It's up to 203 million. I think everyone's hoping for a migration to start. If not, he's just going to keep everyone in the asylum, is what they're calling it. And I think that'll be the other competitor between the three, between Dog, Magic Internet Money, and Pups. Seems like Arsic kind of just faded into obscurity.
I mean, you got to figure his timing is right, man. Like, he was right to just wait, just pump the brakes, wait. Timing's right for him now. Like, if they do the migration while it's like now, I mean, I know they set that date, but yeah, it's super bullish for those guys for sure. Chris's bags, bro. That's retirement. when you coming down to Costa Rica, bro, we'll hang on that Wizard money, bro.
Yeah. The Magic Internet Money, man.
Magic Internet money.
Get it one way or another.
You can't fade the Magic Internet Money in the crypto space. Like, that's the staple of the entire industry. You just can't do it.
Yeah, well played, sir. Well played. I think we're going to wrap it up here. It's been an exciting week in the crypto space. I mean, Bitcoin literally rocketed to 93,000, up 30% in literally 7 days since Trump's election. Everyone's really excited. How high is this going to go? Will the profits rotate? And will the ordinals and runes bags start to come back? It did seem like with this last push of Bitcoin strength, it did push down a lot of the native assets, where before they were kind of climbing with it. So I think a lot of people are hoping for consolidation so that it can kind of allow some breathing room for these coins to catch back up and for some interest to come back. But we'll see. Next week we have 2 different guests coming on the show. I forgot off the top of my head who's coming on.
So we have next week is DMT on Tuesday. And then
we have Gandhi on Wednesday. Yeah. So DMT, the DMT guys, the block runner guys, it's their 20th or their first or 20th. The 1 year anniversary for DMT is on the 20th. So we're catching them literally on the 1 year anniversary of DMT. I hear they might have some surprises, some announcements throughout the week of what they want to do there. So really excited to catch up with them. Appreciate everyone who hung on with us today with the Inscription Show. All of these ordinal and UTXO markets are continuing to grow, and the UTXO chains are starting to catch some more attention. So until then, everybody enjoy your weekend. We'll be back here Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time with the block runners. Stay safe out there, and we'll see you soon.